Okay, hey everybody, welcome to another episode of On the Wrist from Off the Cuff. Today we have a really cool review for you from newcomer Haveston Straps. So basically they specialize in heavy duty NATO straps with a vintage military aesthetic. They're a UK based brand out of London. It looks like they were established in 2015 and basically have been doing a lot of research, a lot of really cool things as far as design goes, which we'll get into for this basically this premiere release from them with these two introductory straps. So basically they cover high-end NATO straps, and they're designed with both functionality and ergonomics in mind. We'll be looking today at the Invasion strap as well as the M1936 strap. Today we're actually, you may recognize these watches. We have one from Seiko and one from Glycine. Now they're both automatic watches, but these could easily also go, of course, on any movement type watch. I think they just are really well suited for something, of course, with a more military type theme, with the airmen being having a really cool kind of combat history, and then also, of course, Seiko. I think this release here with this particular model definitely has the vintage pilot kind of look to it down pretty well. So with that being said, let's go ahead and zoom out and pick these guys up and actually get an idea of kind of the full package of what you're getting when you get a Haveston strap. So one of the cool things is that it comes in this really great little tin. So, I mean, I think presentation points definitely do a lot, especially for a new company. And really at the price point at right around $30, I mean, shipped. This is really outstanding and a really cool presentation. Comes in this little tin, definitely something that could easily be reused. As you can see, it even has a coating here to really help that seal in nice and tight. Comes wrapped kind of in this nice brown paper, and then you have a nice little tag with care instructions, which I thought was a really nice touch, and it just shows kind of a little extra care, and they understand that you are getting a premium product to go along with the premium price tag, because of course a very nice strap, you can get NATO straps anywhere from $5 to $40 to $50 to, I mean, if you're going to buy an Omega strap, then it's going to be upwards of $100. So I think that's really cool. And then they actually do have separate markings there, so you can tell which color that you got. And I just really like these, and I wanted to make sure that we did get those presented in the video. So as you guys may have already recognized, because there was a recent review of this piece here from Seiko, but I just really love this Invasion design. It's basically inspired by the striped paint scheme that was applied to Allied aircraft on the eve of the D-Day invasion. So basically, it's just a really nice, clean military pattern. I served in the Marine Corps for almost 10 years. I really only got out because I hurt my back. But I just love that very clean. I mean, it almost looks like it could be, on a campaign ribbon. So I just really do like that design. I think they really hit their marks with the color, the weave, that nice heavy duty nylon that they're using. And it actually does have a somewhat slightly different layout. Now these, I normally do like to have longer straps. These ones aren't super long, but as you'll see here, when I do get this mounted on the wrist, you'll see why they don't actually have to be that long. But one of the key characteristics here that you'll find is this really cool sliding keeper. And what that enables you to do is it gives you some options when you are actually fitting the strap, depending on how you'd like to wear it. So let's go ahead and get this on wrist. So as you can see, what I'll do here is I'll loop it through. Very standard affair from that standpoint. But basically when you put it on now, you can go ahead and put it through here like this. And if you wanted to, you could scoot this guy down and do whatever you wanted as far as having it tucked back in. But I have a, you know, 7¼ inch wrist, so it's a little bit bigger, and I actually like the way it wears just like this. So it is very comfortable. Although it's a thicker, heavier duty nylon, it actually feels really nice on the skin. So that was definitely surprising. I was kind of expecting it to feel a little bit more like some of my gear from, you know, back my active duty days. Some of the 782 gear we had wasn't the best feeling on the skin, but I gotta say, high points on having something that's rugged but also refined. I mean, it really just feels great on the wrist, and I think it also looks great. So it has that great balance of form and function. I mean, look at that beautiful buckle there, definitely above and beyond what you'd see normally on a NATO. And then the hardware, of course, stunningly high polished and very thick, as you can see there, but it's not squared off. I think it's nice that it still has that kind of more traditional shape, you know, not too rounded, not too square, somewhere in the middle, which just makes it all the more versatile. So here we also have the other strap, which is the M1936. Now, this one is basically based on the classic canvas tones found in the U.S. military field equipment between 1943 and 1945. Now, honestly, for me, this still looks like some of the gear, you know, that we have, you know, even from the time I was in, back in 2001. Of course, I think this definitely, I think the tone almost has more of a worn tone, but it still looks like, you know, the same kind of olive drab and almost even some of the coyote green colors that we actually had in the Marine Corps. So for me, I really, really like this because it's kind of an in-between. It does have a nice gold hue to it, but it actually is a really cool shade of green, but also can go with khaki. So I thought that was really nice, and I paired it with this nice Glycine Airman 18, and I think the kind of gold tones really, I mean, I normally wouldn't think to put a green strap on this watch, especially with the blue dial, but I think the gold tones just make it that much more versatile. And of course, you know, the Superluminova on here is going to have a green hue, so maybe that ties it into, I'm not really sure, but together it kind of just does a little bit of magic for me, and I just love the way this thing looks and wears. And as you can see, just everything is really, really finely stitched. I love that, you know, there's a, you know, basically a separate stitching there towards the ends, which really just adds to that rugged appeal. But the weave here itself, although it is heavy duty and it is thicker here in the center portion, it's just so smooth. And this thing is really, really pliable and nice as well. So let's go ahead and, you know, let's get this on the other wrist. Excuse me. So, of course, I am left-handed, so it's gonna be a little weird putting this on the right wrist, but I think I can still get it done there, and I'll just get this here to hold it on, which is really, really nice. So as you can see, wears really, really nicely. Let me it adds a nice little heft to it, especially since this is a smaller watch at a 39. One of the nice things about wearing a NATO strap in general is having the extra hardware there just adds a little bit of visual weight to the piece. Not that I think this piece looks small, but I mean, I'd say by today's standards, it would be considered kind of small, especially since it has a bezel, you know, which makes the dial that much smaller. But when paired with this strap in particular, especially with that nice thickness that you're going to get there and that really just robust feel, I mean, that really, really great, highly polished hardware, I think you can see that it really just completes the look, and it just has a really nice just overall design aesthetic. I think it looks great, feels great. I mean, and it's just executed to a really, I mean, this, the sheen on the nylon here, I mean, you can just tell that that is just a really nice finish and very high quality. And you know, at a retail price of, you know, $29.99, you know, you're buying it direct from the company, and that's covering shipping. I think that's just fantastic. Now, you know, I guess my closing thoughts would be, of course, like I've said, it's very comfortable. I mean, it just wears really nice, really well thought out ergonomics, and kind of how they've designed these to be shorter straps. You know, but at the same time still, you know, keeps all of, you know, it's not a raft strap or anything. It still has the hardware, but the nice thing is they've actually sewn this piece off here, versus trying to, you know, have you align it or anything like that. You can just butt that up right there really nicely, and it gives you great spacing here for this keeper, which is really nice. You know, again, it's rugged yet refined. So although it does have that really strong, rugged appeal to it, it's something that feels nice on the wrist, and it actually looks nice too. It's not just, you know, it's not over the top. It's just executed really nicely, and it does feel like, you know, some of the gear, some of the webbing on the gear that we still wear today in the modern military. So really bonus points on that. You know, this is basically a new premium product, you know, and it's executed to such a high level finish, and it's from a brand with an eye for military design, and I think that they really nailed it. As far as these two releases, and I'm very much looking forward to seeing what else Haveston has to offer. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. If you liked the video, please hit like. If you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe for more reviews just like this and more content just like these videos here. Thanks guys, and have a good one. Bye.